guys, it's Beth. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are building a cute little Nifty Knitting inspired grandma's cottage. At least that's what I was going for. I've seen so many people doing these kind of grandma's cottage type builds since Nifty Knitting came out, and I actually don't have the pack yet, but I still thought the builds were super cute and I was quite inspired to try something similar. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. This was actually a super quick build, partly because it's pretty small, so it didn't take me too long, which was nice. But this was something quite different. You'll see from my channel that I normally build quite modern homes, and kind of like grandma's cottage is not really something that I would build normally. And I don't really play with elders either, which is probably a bit of a shame. I probably should play with them more. I do think the game's probably lacking some content for elders, but yeah, I wanted to do something a bit different, and this was actually super fun. As I say, it didn't take long because it's quite small, and I got to use quite a lot of kind of like decor and items that I wouldn't normally use, which is quite cool. I was mostly focused on the exterior, I will say, so I spent longer on the outside and like landscaping and stuff than I did on the actual inside. And you'll see when we get to the inside, I was struggling a little bit with the furnishing. I wasn't sure exactly how like grandma I wanted to make it. So like the bathroom's quite modern, but then the bedroom's quite like grandma style, I suppose. So yeah. It was a bit tricky, but I had so much fun making this. And honestly, with like the stone and the little like chimney and everything, it's given me quite like fairy tale, like grandma's cottage in the woods kind of vibe, which is I'm kind of like a big fan of. I think it looks really cute. And actually the sim that I made for this is really sweet, and she's got a little dog, and the dog is super cute. I think I called the dog Cashew, and he's like a little cockapoo. He's really, really cute, and yeah, she's cool. She's like a cool grandma. But yeah, I was kind of focusing on the exterior, so I tried to use some debug stuff here. You can see I'm using this debug pond, and like I liked it, and I had the idea initially I was going to make it like I have the kind of lettuces or whatever they are there, and like she was maybe going to like grow stuff, and I ended up just landscaping it and making it kind of prettier because I wasn't loving how it looked. I actually built it over like 2 days, and I've started it kind of late at night, and when I came back the next day I was like, I'm not really feeling this now, so I ended up changing it, which I think, you know, it's fine. But yeah, as I say, I used a lot of items that I haven't really used before. So I got to use a bike for the first time now that I have university. I could use a bike, so I still haven't actually seen a sim ride a bike. I do have to try that at some point, but I thought she'd maybe be like, you know, cool eco-friendly grandma that rides a bike. And I gave her like the little bee house and the little like bug house thing from Eco Lifestyle. So I'm kind of thinking she's pretty like cool and like, kind of like an eco grandma. I maybe should have made the house off the grid, to be honest. I didn't really consider it. It is a tiny house, or it's a small home at least. It's like 83 tiles, I think. So it will meet that criteria. But yeah, I could have made it off the grid, and I didn't really think about it. So maybe like an off the grid house is what I should try next. I've never actually built anything like properly off the grid, and I know there's the new like menu options and stuff for that now, so it's easier to do. So maybe we could try that at some point. I think that would be quite cool. But yeah, I figure she's kind of like, you know, quite earthy, and you know, she likes being out in the woods, and she's got her little dog. Like that's kind of what I was picturing for this house. Like she doesn't have a TV, and she spends a lot of her time outside, and just like the house is quite minimal but still like cozy. But as I say, I definitely was probably more focused on the exterior, and I kind of at the moment probably am. Like I definitely used to be all about like the furnishing and stuff, and I never knew how to build the outside of houses, and now I really like landscaping and stuff. And then when it comes to building the inside, I kind of generally build the same houses all the time inside, which is why this was nice, because this was a bit different. This was, as I say, I was building it for like an elder, which I don't normally play with elders, so this kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit in terms of the decoration. I wasn't just doing the same, like, you know, the same jungle adventure kitchen that I put in every build. But I definitely do find at the moment that my interiors often look quite similar. So I would like to try and do some different stuff. I'm thinking now that I have university, I still haven't actually played with university because I'm just building all the time. But I'm thinking that I might do like a dorm renovation, because I've seen a few people doing that, and that looks super fun. And I've not actually been into any of the worlds yet for university. So yeah, I definitely need to try that. And then I was doing an idea here. You can see I have like the debug apples and like the debug glass jars that I sized up. And I wanted to do like kind of like a jar of apples, like instead of a fruit bowl. The only issue is when you raise and lower things, obviously they snap to a certain level, so the apples are kind of floating. So I maybe should have tried to use the tool mod. I think with the updated tool mod, you can kind of move things in smaller fractions. So I maybe could have like raised or lowered the apples down like by a smaller amount. But I actually didn't have my mods installed, I don't think, or I didn't have it turned on. I don't know. I ended up not using tool mod. I can't remember why. Because I've got CC in there, but yeah, I didn't use the tool mod at all in this build. So I think at the time I didn't have it in, and I was going to come back to it, and I just totally forgot. So yeah, you have floating apples. So feel free to fix that if you want. But I just was trying to think of something different to do with like the glass jars and stuff, rather than just like, I'm going to put a fruit bowl down. I wanted to try and do something a bit different with the decoration. And I think it's a cute idea, but maybe not executed to perfection, shall we say. Definitely could have another try at that. And then in the bathroom, as I say, it's quite modern. I think the tile maybe makes it not quite as modern. Like, I've not just done the usual like spade tiles on the walls and the floors, but yeah, it's quite modern, I guess, with it being grey and stuff. I was going to make it like flowery, and then I was kind of like, like I don't want to make it too, like, she's a cool grandma, I don't want to make it too like old lady. So I tried to give her quite a cool bathroom. And then the bedroom, I went for this kind of like yellow sunflower theme. So the walls are yellow, like this kind of like gingham pattern, and then the bed's got sunflowers on it. This is actually a bed that is a unlockable item. I actually don't know what career it's from, but I just used the cheat to unlock them. And I've actually never used it before, but I think it wasn't like super expensive, and I think it's like comfort 9 and like environment is quite high, so I think it's actually like a really good bed. And I thought the sunflowers were like really cute. I thought this was kind of like cottage country, like cute, but without being like super old lady. That was kind of the vibe. And then I still love this like floor paintings, so I just sized them down and then put them on top of the dresser, and I used that little eco lifestyle like hamper, because you all know I love that. And then I tried to give her like a kind of little reading nook in the corner. That first bookcase that I placed down, I love it, but it's huge. Like, I think it's for medium wall height, and I almost never build with medium walls, so I never get to use it. And I've seen a couple of other people in videos like saying the same thing, that they love that bookcase, but they can't actually use it because it's so big. It's just like way too tall. Which I get. Like, if you're building with medium walls, it's really frustrating when all the furniture is like only halfway up the walls, like everything's too little. So I get having like a taller bookcase. It does make sense, but sometimes you're like, oh, it would be perfect in this room, but it's just way too tall. So I had to use a different one instead. And then I was trying to navigate this, like, I'm aware that I did all the other rooms, and then I came back and was like, I don't really know how I'm going to make a living room in this build. So I'd like deleted that little partition wall, and then tried to put like 2 sofas, and they just didn't fit, and they were blocking the doors and stuff. So I ended up just giving her like that little front bit when you walk in, rather than it being a proper hallway. There's like a little sofa and then a little armchair and a bookcase, and then I made this a little dining area. And I think these little chairs are so cute, like this proper little like country house vibes. I love it. And I love this wooden flooring as well. I can't remember if this is this Jungle Adventure flooring or Outdoor Retreat? And there's 2. There's one, each pack comes with one that are kind of similar, and I never remember which one's which, but one has slightly nicer swatches. So this might be the Outdoor Retreat one. But yeah, I ended up making that into like a little living room. So as I say, you walk in and you've got the sofa, and then you've got the bookcase. She doesn't have a TV or anything. Doesn't really have any electronics, to be honest, but I figure she's going to be outside in the garden. And then I gave her like the little like outdoor, like the little laundry, like washing basket thing in the little laundry line. So instead of like a washer and a dryer, I figured she'd maybe be more into like the, you know, like doing her laundry al fresco. And I haven't used that item before, and I just thought it was perfect in the garden. When I put it down, I was like, this is totally the vibe. So I was really happy that I found that item. And it was actually, I was placing it, and I thought, oh, I haven't given her, I keep forgetting that I have laundry. So I was like, oh, I haven't given her like a washer or a dryer. And then I was actually like, no, this is perfect, because I think that looks so cute outside. And she's got her little bike. And then I ended up putting down from Debug like the little wheelbarrow with the plants in it. And I was like, this is just absolutely perfect for what I'm going for. And then you'll see I used the pool tool to make a little pond. And I just put Debug rocks, or they're actually not Debug, they're just from like the menu here with like the trees and stuff. They're just those ones, because I actually think they're kind of nicer than the Debug ones, and they're easier to place. And then I kind of went mad with the landscaping. So normally I kind of try and do like little neat flower beds and stuff, but I figured this would be kind of more, not a wild garden, but definitely more like natural looking. So I did these little bunches of bushes. So I did like one down the side of the house, one down the side of the pond, and that one around the trees in the back. And I just think it looks so cute. Like, it's so like overgrown, but like not ridiculously overgrown. And then I was trying to find something. I was looking through Debug there to try and find like rocks. I'm sure I've had rocks before. I think I used it in the first video I ever did, like my Sulani build, to make a little pathway, and I just couldn't find what I was looking for. I wanted some kind of like little natural stone path through the garden, but yeah, it just wasn't happening. So I did the plants, and then I ended up just using a terrain paint, which worked in the end, and I think it was really cute. But yeah, as I say, this wasn't a long build. This came together super quickly, and as I say, definitely the outside is what I'm happiest with, but I think it came out really cute. I will make sure that the house and also the Sims are available on the gallery if you want to play with this household or you want to download the house. Thanks as always for watching. Please remember to like and comment and subscribe and do all of that fun stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!